Hi guys! Today's video is the second video in my mini back to school series, and I'm going to be answering all the questions that you left me on last week's video about GCSEs, school, sixth form, uni maybe. Thank you to everyone who left a question, and let's get started. 214 comments? Thanks pals. Okay, the first question is from Lucy Jagger, hey girl hey, and she says, what subjects did you regret taking at sixth form and why? I really regretted taking psychology. No offence to psychology or anything, like if you want to be a psychologist, I definitely recommend psychology because duh. But personally, I thought it would just be really interesting. I wanted to learn about people, I wanted to learn about the brain, but it wasn't like that at all. It was practically just a memory game where you had to remember what psychologist did what experiment in what year, what their hypothesis was and all that jazz. And me being me, I have the worst memory in the entire world. I got so behind so quickly. I did not understand anything, I didn't enjoy it. So I actually dropped that a couple of months into sixth form. So I went down from doing 4 A-levels to 3. Usually in your first year of sixth form you do 4 A-levels and then you drop one at the end of that year and then do 3. But I dropped down to 3 early because psychology was just not for me. Bryony B says, motivation for getting GCSE revision done. I know at the time it can be so difficult to motivate yourself, but what got me through was thinking about results day. But as I was revising, I was thinking about me opening the envelope and being really happy with my results, because there would be no worse feeling than opening your results on results day, being disappointed with your grades and knowing you could have done more to change that. Lil Sad Kitty says, I'm starting year 11 and what's the most important tips? Prioritise your exams, force yourself to revise, use my motivation tip from the previous question. And the third would be, don't stress yourself out too much. I think too many schools and too many teachers put so much pressure on our students that is not necessary at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, GCSEs are important, but they're just a stepping stone to get into sixth form or college or do whatever you want to do next. Once you're into sixth form, like for me now, I am just going into doing my second year of sixth form. We don't even talk about GCSEs anymore. I can't remember any of my grades except from science and textiles because they were the ones I was happiest with. So don't stress yourself out. Obviously you do need to work hard and you do need to get good grades, but it's not the end of the world. So stay calm and you will be far more likely to do well in your exams. Trust me. Alice Donsworth asks, do you think there should be so much pressure around GCSEs and do you feel like they will benefit you in the future or not? Basically, in a nutshell, no, I don't think there should be as much pressure at GCSE stage as there is. I think when students are stressed, they panic in the exams, they don't do as well in the exams as they could, and I think purely if they hadn't been put in the mindset that these exams are the end of the world, then they'd be a lot more relaxed in the exams and they'd be able to write freer, they'd be able to do calculations easier. So I think, for me, my friend Leanne really helped to calm me down before an exam, and she always told me, I know this might not be great advice to everyone, but before we went into every exam she said to me, just imagine it's a mock, pretend you've got another chance. And so that's what I did, and yeah, ended up doing alright at GCSE. So I would say go into your exam not feeling like it's the end of the world, chill out about it, know that you've done your revision and you will be cool. And do you feel like they'll benefit you in the future or not? I think temporarily then they will benefit you because obviously those grades are the ones that help you get into sixth form or college or whatever. But in the long run, nah, I don't really think they'll benefit you, to be honest. Frankie Emma asks, I'm starting college very, very soon and wondered if you had any tips on what to do on your first day, like how to fit in, etc. Be yourself on your first day, walk in with a smile, walk in with your head held high and tell yourself that college is going to be a good experience. A lot of people say college is the best 2 years of their life. Know that you're going to have to work hard from the beginning. You can't rely on your teachers all the time. You have to do independent work at that stage of your education. And maybe take some food with you just in case the food in the canteen isn't that good. Sarah Said asks, I'm starting sixth form this year and I wondered how you dealt with the jump from GCSEs to A-levels. A lot of people will be telling you the jump is huge. You'll see jokes on Twitter like me going from GCSE to A-level, but I genuinely feel that if you've put a lot of work in at GCSE, you've worked hard, you got your grades, and you continue doing that at A-level, you do what the teachers tell you to do, you do the work before the deadline, you keep up, you teach yourself some stuff, you prioritise your work. That's what I did, and personally I didn't find the jump that huge. Maxibon Entertainment says, School pet peeves. Also, do you have a school uniform? First of all, yes, we do have a uniform at our sixth form. And the second thing, school pet peeves, the biggest one is when someone's sitting next to me biting their nails. If you bite your nails about 10 inches from my face, it makes me want to slap you. I hate that so much. It's the chewing noise and it's the crunch, like, how is that satisfying? I just don't get it. I just don't understand that at all. Beauty Pixies asked, how different is sixth form / college to high school? Well, my sixth form is at the school that I went to, so obviously like all my surroundings are the same and everything. It feels kind of similar, but in a way really different. Social pyramids and hierarchies and that have gone out of the window. No one cares. There's not a popular group of friends anymore in sixth form. So I think that's really nice. Everyone's sort of on the same level. Everyone just gets on. It's really friendly. But the workload is a lot heavier and you have to work more independently. So I think that's the biggest difference between school and sixth form, is that you don't get as much help. Amelia Burkett says, I'm just about to start my GCSEs and I'm rubbish at revising. How / what did you do to revise? I use different revision techniques for all my different subjects. So for textiles, I found that making mind maps was the most useful way. But then for science, I wrote all my notes in different coloured pens, bullet points, inside little shapes. When I was doing GCSE, one of my full walls in my bedroom was a mirror. So it was covered in notes when I was doing my GCSEs. But for maths to revise, I just practiced questions again and again. I feel like that's all you can really do for maths, because they're always going to ask you the same thing. They're just going to change the numbers around, change the names around, change the situation. But if you get rid of all that, all the names, the situation, and just come down to the sum, you will have done that before. It's just going to be different numbers. So practicing different calculations is how I revise for maths. What else did I take? English, there's not really much you can revise for English, to be honest. Maybe techniques. But yeah, all different ways. I made flashcards for some subjects. I made mind maps. I did different coloured notes. So that is how I revise at GCSE. Stephanie Louise asked, what GCSEs / A-levels did you do and which ones do you like best? I did in total English, Maths, Science, Media, Drama and Textiles. So those were the GCSEs that I took, and I think actually looking back, Science was my favourite subject. At the time I thought I hated it because I hated the subject, but what made me like it was the people in my classes. My teachers made the world of difference. I had the two best science teachers in existence. If you go to my school and you have either Miss Ferguson or Mr. Stewart as a teacher, tell them that they have been mentioned in this video and thank you for making science great, because I really did enjoy science. That was definitely my favourite lesson, even though the content wasn't really my cup of tea. I mean, red blood cells and all that, like, who needs that in their life? Not me. No offence if you're a doctor or whatnot. But then at A-level I took Media Studies. I carried that on from GCSE. Creative Writing I took, so watch out any authors out there because I'm coming for you. I'm the next author of our generation. And I also chose to do Business Studies, which I'd never done before and I thought I'd really struggle with. But I actually really enjoy that. I think that's probably one of my favourite subjects. These two questions are kind of similar, so I'm going to answer them together. Abby asks, how do you make friends? I'm going into year 12 at college and I know literally no one. And Alice Potter says, I'm changing forms next year. Any tips for making new friends? So basically, how do you make friends? At first, you might not find your friendship group that is going to be your friendship group. You might make a few friends here, a few friends in this class, a few friends there. But I think at the start, don't really worry about your friendship group. As long as you get on with everyone, you're always going to have someone to sit with. This is what I did at the beginning of year 12. I was just cool with everyone. Like, I didn't have a friendship group. My whole year is still really close, but everyone's sort of gone off into their little groups now, and I've finally like settled down and found my little group. So I would just say, don't worry about trying to make friends. Don't come across like you're just using them because you need someone to stand with. Be yourself, be honest with them. Just make friends with everyone, I guess. I mean, it's not really hard. Everyone else at that stage is making friends too. Emma Brown says, do you plan on going to university after you finish sixth form? If so, what degrees do you have in mind? This is such a hard question. I don't really like to think about it a lot because it makes me so worried and so stressed out. But I don't think I do want to go to uni. I mean, the whole idea of uni and like the stereotypes of uni don't appeal to me at all. I am really not a party type of person, so I don't think I would like it. And I get homesick really easily, so I don't think I'd like being away from home. But then I think when you go to a sixth form, Everyone who goes there is hoping to go to uni. Well, that's what it feels like to me anyway. I feel like the only person that isn't aiming for that. But then Priya Patel says, how did you do well at AS level? And I actually put that down to not being stressed about having to get the grades to go into uni, because I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna go with the flow, and to an extent I believe that our lives are already planned out for us. So I was like, if I get the grades to go to uni and that's an option, cool, probably still won't choose to go to uni. And if I don't get the grades to go to uni, then that's cool, because I wasn't really planning on going to uni. So I was just really chilled throughout my exams, and I think that's actually why I did well. But if I was gonna go to uni, like the tiny chance that I was gonna go, I think I would do a business management course, because I don't know, I kind of want to be a manager of something in my life. Alicia says, how do you survive sixth form? It is a daily struggle. No, sixth form is alright. I mean, I get to see my friends and I like the people there, but getting up in the morning is not my forte. So many people have asked, what did you get in your GCSEs? Do you know what? Since I can't remember it, I'm going to try and find the sheet. I feel like it's in this cupboard, so give me 2 seconds and I'll tell you exactly what I got. Success, I have found the documents. So in science I got an A, that was the one I knew. English literature I got a B. English language I got an A. Media studies I got an A. Maths I got a B. Drama I got a B. And textiles I got an A star. So yeah, that was my results. That made me feel really nervous. It was like I was opening them again. Felt like results day for a second. Kate Wicken has left possibly the best comment of this whole video. She says, I'm so scared about my GCSEs. What am I going to do with my life? And all these YouTubers are telling me that I need Tumblr notebooks and flawless brows, but I'm ginger, so I have no brows. Also, I feel pressured into buying all my furniture from IKEA and having pastel everything and listening to Ariana Grande and drinking Starbucks, but I need to pass my exams and not worry about what's in my makeup bag. What do I do? Help me, Hannah, because you said you're fabulous. Oh, that's funny. First of all, Kate, don't worry about your brows. Personally, I'd love to have ginger hair. I wish my hair was ginger. Second of all, you don't need Tumblr notebooks, because a notebook's a notebook. It has the same purpose. I can't believe I'm answering this. You don't have to buy all your furniture from IKEA, but it is very cheap and it's very good quality, so I would recommend that one. So don't dismiss that one straight away. Also, you don't have to listen to Ariana Grande, but you know, that girl can sing, so you might want to. That might help you get through your GCSEs. Drinking Starbucks might as well help you, because coffee has caffeine in it that's going to keep you awake throughout your exams. So actually, all of these stereotypes, most of them are going to help you, but don't worry about what's in your school makeup bag. Just focus on your GCSEs for now. Holly Mason said, how do I know what options to pick when I don't know what to be when I'm older? I was in the same boat as you. I just chose the subjects that I was interested in, because I knew if I was interested I was going to work hard at it no matter what the subject was. And that just so happened to be media, textiles and drama, so more creative subjects. So I would say choose options that you're genuinely interested in, that you think you would enjoy, rather than thinking about a future career. Molly Georgia says, do you have a part-time job whilst at sixth form? And if not, how do you afford to do stuff? I do have a couple of part-time jobs, obviously one of them being YouTube, and the second one is that I work at my dad's print shop sort of every now and again when I'm needed, sort of just to tide me by it. But I've found that I don't really need to spend money at the minute. Obviously I have things that I want, but if I don't have the money for it, then I can't get it. So I do have those part-time jobs, and I'm not gonna lie, it can be quite stressful when I'm doing A-levels, because A-levels take up a lot of your time. Obviously, because I've said so many times in this video that you have to work independently, you have to put extra hours in and extra effort in. So when I'm trying to balance doing A-levels and trying to get good results with having a couple of part-time jobs, it can get a bit stressful at times. Sometimes you have to give yourself a day or two where you just put everything aside and you focus on yourself, because once you've hit that point of being really tired and really stressed, nothing you do is going to be worth doing. And the final question for today is from Victoria Nolan, and she says, what was your favourite part of school and what was your least favourite part? My least favourite part was the content of some of the lessons. I just thought it was pointless. Why do I need to know about Pythagoras' theorem, and why do I need to memorise the techniques used in like 14 different poems from some random poetry book that I'm never going to read again in my life? But my favourite part of school was the people, was my favourite thing about school, I think, and the laughs that we had and the memories we made and stuff like that. Because looking back at it, I did really enjoy school, but now at sixth form, I mean, it's all about the work, so You don't really make as many memories like that. But at GCSE and during my school days, that was definitely my favourite thing, was making all those memories. So I'm sorry I couldn't answer all the questions. I didn't realise how many there was going to be. But I hope that even if I didn't answer your question, the answer you were looking for was kind of mixed into this video somewhere. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe down below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next week. Bye!